All right, so you ever scroll through social media and see those couples traveling the world in a van, living that dream life? Yeah, well, what if I told you one of those picture-perfect road trips ended in murder? That's exactly what happened in the case of Gabby Petito. And trust me, this story gets dark. So let's rewind to the summer of 2021. Gabby Petito, 22 years old, is on top of the world. She's young, adventurous, and doing exactly what she always wanted: traveling across the U.S. with her fiancé, Brian Laundrie. The plan? They're going full-on van life. They've got this white Ford Transit van decked out with everything they need, and they're hitting national parks, exploring the great outdoors, and vlogging their adventures for social media. At first, it looks like the perfect road trip. They post Instagram photos of mountain hikes, sunsets, and them looking all cute together in their little home on wheels. But what you don't see on social media? The tension, the cracks in the relationship. Because behind those happy couple selfies, this thing was falling apart. So as Gabby and Brian are making their way through Utah, people start noticing things. They get pulled over by police in Moab after a witness calls 911, saying they saw Brian hitting Gabby. Yeah, not some little argument, actual physical violence. Now the cops show up and this whole interaction is caught on bodycam. And what do they find? Gabby, hysterical. She's crying, panicking, barely able to get a sentence out. And Brian, he's cool as a cucumber, telling cops she's just overreacting, playing the whole thing off like he's the victim. And here's the part that's really messed up. The cops actually believe him. Instead of arresting Brian, they just separate them for the night and call it a lover's quarrel. And Gabby? She's so afraid of getting Brian in trouble that she blames herself. She literally tells the cops, "I was being mean to him. I hit him first." Now, if that doesn't scream abusive relationship, I don't know what does. But things only get worse from here. Fast forward to August 24th. Gabby FaceTimes her mom from Utah, telling her they're heading to Grand Teton National Park in Wyoming. That's the last time anyone in her family will ever see her alive. Over the next few days, Gabby sends a couple of texts to her mom, but something feels off. Like one of them just says, "No service in Yosemite," which makes zero sense because she was supposed to be in Wyoming. It's almost like someone else is texting from her phone. Then on September 1st, Brian just casually shows up back home in Florida. No Gabby, just him driving their van like nothing happened. And get this, he doesn't call the police. He doesn't tell Gabby's family anything. He just goes about his life, hanging out at his parents' house like it's totally normal to come back from a road trip without your fiancé. 10 days go by. 10. Gabby's family is losing their minds trying to reach her. Finally, on September 11th, they report her missing. And the moment the police get involved, Brian refuses to talk, won't answer calls, won't cooperate, nothing. Instead, he lawyers up and lets his parents handle everything. At this point, the entire country is watching. The media is all over this case. Everyone's asking the same question: where the hell is Gabby? And the answer? Oh, it's so much worse than anyone imagined. Real quick, if you like this story so far, go ahead and like, comment, and hit that subscribe button. It helps more than you know, and trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next on Talescape. All right, back to it. So now we've got a full-blown missing person case on our hands, and the media is eating this up. Everyone's talking about it. Every news outlet, every true crime channel, even TikTok detectives are out here piecing together clues. And the one name on everybody's mind? Brian Laundrie. Because let's be real, dude comes back home without his fiancé, refuses to talk, and immediately lawyers up? Yeah, not suspicious at all. But here's where things get really sketchy. As soon as Gabby is officially reported missing, the police show up at the Laundrie house, hoping to get some answers. And Brian's parents? They straight up refuse to let the cops in. No statements, no cooperation, nothing. It's like they're pretending Gabby never even existed. And then, just when things couldn't get more suspicious, Brian vanishes. Yeah, that's right. On September 13th, his parents tell police that Brian went for a hike in the Carlton Reserve, a massive, swampy nature preserve in Florida. And apparently, he never came back. But here's the thing. His parents don't report him missing right away. They wait 3 days before telling the cops. At this point, the internet is losing it. Theories are flying left and right. Did Brian run? Did his parents help him escape? Is he hiding in some underground bunker? And while everyone is looking for him, investigators are still searching for Gabby. Then, on September 19th, they find her. Her body is discovered in Bridger Teton National Forest in Wyoming near a remote campsite. And the autopsy? It's brutal. Gabby had been strangled to death. And based on the decomposition, the coroner estimates that she had been dead for 3 to 4 weeks before they found her. And just like that, this isn't a missing person case anymore. It's murder. Now, you'd think Brian's parents would be freaking out at this point, right? Maybe show some emotion? Nope, they stay completely silent, and Brian, still missing. The police issue an arrest warrant, but not for murder. See, at this point, they still don't have enough evidence to officially charge him. So instead, they hit him with bank fraud. Turns out, after Gabby died, Brian was out here using her debit card to pull money from ATMs. Yeah, because if you're going to be a fugitive, why not leave a paper trail? Now, while the feds are out searching for Brian, the internet is doing what it does best, digging up receipts. And this is when people start analyzing everything, going through Gabby's social media posts, looking at old footage, and uncovering some seriously eerie details. Like, remember how the last few texts from Gabby to her mom seemed off? Well, some experts start analyzing them and suggest that they weren't even written by her. The language, the phrasing, it didn't match how she usually texted. It's almost like someone else was sending them. And then there's the fact that after Gabby was killed, Brian just casually drove her van all the way back to Florida, 2,500 miles, and nobody noticed anything weird? No gas station employees, no hotel clerks, no cops along the way. Like this man was on a cross-country murder road trip and somehow didn't slip up once. But as wild as all of this is, there's one question everyone still wants answered. Where the hell is Brian? Well, turns out, he wasn't nearly as far as people thought. And when they finally do find him, let's just say it raises more questions than it answers. So now the entire country is looking for Brian Laundrie. The FBI, local police, internet sleuths, hell, even Dog the Bounty Hunter gets involved. People are convinced he's hiding out somewhere, maybe in a bunker, maybe in another state, maybe even in another country. But where do they find him? Right back in Florida. On October 20th, 2021, over a month after he disappeared, investigators find human remains in the Myakkahatchee Creek Environmental Park, which is just a short drive from his parents' house. And next to the body, a backpack, a revolver, and a notebook. DNA tests confirm it. It's Brian Laundrie, and the cause of death? Self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head. Now, at first, this seems like the case is finally over. The guy who killed Gabby is dead. But instead of bringing closure, it just opens up more questions. First of all, how did they find him so quickly? Let me break this down for you. The area where Brian's body was found, police had already searched there multiple times before and came up with nothing. But the day his parents decide to join the search, boom, his backpack and remains show up almost immediately. People start wondering, did his parents know where he was the whole time? Were they just waiting for the heat to die down before pointing cops in the right direction? Or did they even help him hide? And then there's the notebook. Authorities find a handwritten confession inside, where Brian admits to killing Gabby. But here's the twist. He doesn't say he murdered her out of anger or anything like that. Nope. He claims it was a mercy kill. According to Brian, Gabby had gotten injured on their trip, so badly that she was in too much pain. And since they were out in the wilderness with no way to get help, he strangled her to end her suffering. Yeah, let that sink in. The dude literally tried to rewrite the entire story after he was already dead. But here's the problem. None of it lines up. For starters, Gabby's autopsy showed 0 injuries that would have required mercy. No broken bones, no deadly wounds, nothing. And if she was in that much pain, why didn't he drive her to a hospital? They had a van, they had a phone. Hell, they were right near a national park. There were rangers around. So yeah, that confession? A straight-up lie. Just one last way for Brian to control the story, even from beyond the grave. But the thing is, his death meant there would never be a trial. No testimony, no questioning, no real justice. And Gabby's parents? they weren't about to let Brian's family off the hook that easily. Because remember, while the entire country was looking for their missing daughter, Brian's parents were sitting at home refusing to help. And Gabby's family fully believes they knew she was dead the whole time. So they hit them with a wrongful death lawsuit. And in 2023, Brian's parents settled for $3 million. Now, they never admitted to any wrongdoing, but the fact that they paid up, yeah, that says a lot. At the end of the day, Gabby's case became bigger than just one crime. It sparked massive discussions about domestic abuse, police failure, and how the justice system handles missing persons cases. Because let's be real, so many warning signs were ignored. Gabby was crying for help in that body cam footage. She was texting her family things that didn't sound like her, and yet she still ended up as another tragic headline. But her family is making sure her story doesn't just fade away. They started the Gabby Petito Foundation, helping victims of domestic violence escape toxic relationships before it's too late. And if there's one thing we can take away from this case, it's this. When someone seems like they're trapped in a dangerous situation, believe them. Because ignoring the warning signs, it could be the difference between life and death. Thanks for tuning in to Talescape. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more stories where ambition meets chaos, and sometimes history.